Today I'm here to tell you about the most undervalued asset on planet Earth. Ironically, it's also real money. Today I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about silver. I need to start with two disclaimers for this video. This video is for educational purposes only and does no way constitute investment advice. Invest at your own risk. The second disclaimer is that all of this silver that I'm going to show you and walk you through today is not mine. I am friends with private investors as well as small brokers who deal with in-person only, have great relationships. This is not my silver and it will not be in my possession after this video. Silver is one of two monetary metals. Gold and silver are real money. In the Constitution of the United States, only gold and silver are money. Gold and silver have been used for thousands of years in trade, as currency, as a medium of exchange, as a store of value, and are the only things that have held their value for such a long period of time. They are proof of work, they exist, they are rare, they are divisible, they are the best thing that we possibly have on this planet for money. With new technologies like the blockchain and the internet, we can turn this into a digital token backed by physical precious metals. So that is some exciting revelations. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. Silver is a teeny-weeny, tiny little market. Less than 1 billion ounces per year are mined. Most of the silver that is mined comes from a byproduct from industrial metals like zinc and copper. There are not very many primary silver producers on the planet. At the current price of silver, the total annual supply of silver is approximately $20 billion worth of silver every single year. This year we are running a 200 million ounce deficit for silver. Silver demand is growing, both for an investment, not so much as a monetary metal like people like me believe that this is real money, but for things like jewelry, silverware, solar panels, and anything else to do with green technology, as silver is the most reflective metal. And silver is even used in healthcare and for health benefits. It has antibacterial properties. Back in the day, homesteaders would invest in one pure silver coin to put in their milk to keep it from spoiling. Physical silver. So owning physical precious metals in your possession is the only thing on the planet that you can invest in that doesn't have any counterparty risk. If you invest in a silver ETF or a mining stock or a company or have someone else store your silver, that has counterparty risk. Holding this in your hand is one of the only things you can do to fully protect yourself from all counterparty risk. This has no ongoing costs for storage once it's in your possession, unless you decide to store it with a third party. It's having large amounts of wealth in your possession, in your hand. Nobody can take it from you, no scammer. It's in your hand, it's yours. First, we're going to talk about investing in pure silver bullion. So there are many different products of getting pure silver and investing. The number one world-renowned coin, something Canada actually does well, is the silver maple leaf. This is recognized around the world. You can take this to a coin shop in any other country and they will recognize this. This comes at a slightly higher premium than some coins, some generic buffalo coins, things like that. It's highly recognizable. In the newer silver maple leafs, there is a micro engraving, anti-counterfeit, small maple leaf in there. And that is something that makes this one very difficult to counterfeit. There are counterfeits, but they're easy to spot once you know what you are doing. So this is a 1 ounce round. And these are 1 ounce bars. Both are bullion. These are just bars, and these are coins. Coins are very convenient to store and stack as they fit in a convenient tube like this. The Canadian silver maple leaf comes in a tube of 25. Most of the American coins and other coins from around the world come in tubes of 20. So when you see somebody talking about, I'd like a tube of 1 ounce rounds or a tube of silver maple leafs, a tube of silver maple leafs is 25 ounces, 25 coins. A tube of silver eagles is 20. You can get bullion in smaller than 1 ounce rounds, but it comes at a high premium, and I wouldn't recommend that. I would just recommend storing constitutional or junk silver for any smaller denomination, but we're going to get to that shortly. Up from 1 ounce rounds, there's different products. This is a 250 gram bar, so it's just a little bit bigger. Nice bar. 10 ounce bars are quite common, and there's a whole bunch of different brands. This is a nice bar, and it doesn't have much of a premium. The Royal Canadian Mint, just like the silver maple leaf, is a very nice, world-renowned bar and comes at an ever so slightly higher premium than some generic 10 ounce bars. And if you buy a lot of them, they come in a protective sheeting like this, all sealed up. Up from there is a kilogram bar. So this is 32.15 ounces of silver content, pure silver, in a kilo bar. Up from there is a 100 ounce silver bar. This is again a Royal Canadian Mint, comes at an ever so slightly premium over some other bars. And this, essentially, the bigger chunk of silver that you invest in, the lower the premium and the better deal you're going to get, but the bigger chunk of silver that you have, the harder sell it is. So this today is worth about $3,300 Canadian, this one. This is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200. Each one of these 10 ounce bars is somewhere in the neighborhood of $350. And these at today's spot price are somewhere in the neighborhood of $38 to $44 per ounce. You can get fancy things like this 10 ounce round, but this comes at a higher premium than just your standard 10 ounce bar, just because of the fit and finish and a little bit more rarity. Now, when investing in silver, you don't want to become a coin collector. We are not coin collectors. We are bullion metals investors. We invest in real money. So when something like this has a significant premium on it, you don't really want to do that. You want metal as close to the paper spot price on the market as you possibly can. If you just are investing in a little bit, you can get convenient coin capsules to protect the silver. If you're handling silver with your bare hands, which have oil on it, silver is a metal that will tarnish. So gold is more rare. It's the most valuable metal on the planet, but silver will tarnish and get some discoloration. So I like to use, when dealing with direct with coins, just some jeweler's gloves, or these are just simple winter mittens, so it doesn't get the oil off my hands on them. But these ones are protected. You never want to clean any of your silver, whether that's old constitutional currency or bullion. It will reduce the value of it. The tarnishing is just some character, and just leave it how it is. To prevent any tarnish and to store your silver in the best way possible, I like to use ammunition cans, just like how I store freeze-dried food, ammunition. So it has a good rubber seal on, and I make a desiccant pack out of non-scented silica kitty litter and a coffee filter. If you put your silver in there, it will have less risk of tarnishing. Now this is what's called a monster box, when you hear that term. So if you're serious about getting into precious metals investing, a monster box is 500 1-ounce coins, so 500 ounces of silver. So in here is a monster box of Canadian silver maple leafs. So there is 20 tubes of 25 coins. In other brands, it'll be 25 tubes of 20 coins, like the American Silver Eagles. But when you purchase more in bulk like this, so if you're just buying 1 ounce of silver, it's going to have a higher premium. If you're just buying 1 tube, you get a little bit of a discount. And if you're buying a monster box, that's kind of your best bang for the buck. So a tube of maple leafs comes like this. Now you don't want to touch these. As it is, the top coin, it's kind of hard to see, but it has some spotting and some discoloration already. The next coin down is mint condition. So this monster box is from a private investor friend of mine. Thank you for letting me use it for this this video, and I didn't touch any coins, right? Using gloves for you. So this yellow box in front of me, this monster box of Canadian silver maple leafs, has a value today of about 20,000 Canadian dollars. When you buy a monster box, they have mint bands on it, and you do get a slightly higher value if you leave the bands on, but this one was opened and accumulated over time, and this is how this particular person stores that. So other ways that you can invest in precious metals is to invest in things that are usable, like silver jewelry. And most jewelry is sterling silver, which is 92.5% silver content. Just make sure when you're buying jewelry it has a stamp on it. It'll say 925. But investing in jewelry, so again, you don't want to pay too much over the spot price. You want to get these things as close to the spot price as possible. Again, we're not investing in Pokemon cards and rare coins. We're investing in silver. So when you get silver jewelry, try to pay as close to the actual silver value as possible. Another cool way is investing in silverware. Your wife or whoever has this in their house will be very grateful. Now, most silverware is silver plated, so it doesn't really have any silver value, so watch what you're purchasing. But this particular set is sterling silver. So the handle is 92.5% pure silver, and on the knives it's stainless because it needs the cutting ability. But these forks and spoons are pure pure sterling silver, 92.5% silver content, and they are stamped on it. It says sterling on it, right? Most that you'll come across used, like antique ones, they're silver plated, and they don't really have any value. So, and for health benefits, silverware is great because silver has antimicrobial properties, so you're putting it in your food and you're eating with it, and it's a very good tool to eat with, as well as sterling silver goblets and cups and things like that. It's a great way as an anniversary gift and an investment at the same time, and a family heirloom. This would come at a higher premium than a lot of other things because of it's kind of a value-added product, right? Like somebody had to make this fork and the beautiful design, and it's actually a usable thing. But it is a nice way to store actual money in a usable condition. Just to walk you through some of the 1-ounce rounds that you'll see available. Again, my favorite is the Canadian silver maple leaf. It's the 4/9 pure, world-renowned anti-counterfeit measures on that. And this is my recommendation for a coin over everything else. But if you want to save a little bit of money, you can get some generic rounds, like this tube of buffaloes. Now, buffaloes, a bunch of different companies make them, and they're quite generic. This one happens to be 4/9 pure, and it comes at a lower premium. So you can find those deals. Some silver producer companies, like this great company, First Majestic Silver, they also will mint their own rounds and sell them directly off their own website. Like Pan American Silver has or had a coin, First Majestic, things like that. This is a tube. I believe the Cougarans are in a 25. 25 in a tube kind of looks like it, but the Cougaran is also a very nice coin. And the infamous American Silver Eagles. Right now, the American Silver Eagles come at such a high premium that it's almost like investing in a numismatic or collectible coin. There is a massive shortage of these. Beautiful coin, and a world-renowned as well. So at this current moment, with the shortage of them, I would not recommend purchasing that because of the high premium over spot. A numismatic coin is a coin that has value well over and above its actual intrinsic value, the content of the silver in there. So most of us precious metals investors, we are not interested in collecting stamps or Pokemon cards or pancake coin or digital JPEG NFTs. We're after the silver content in whatever form that we can get it as close to spot price as possible. So the lower price, the better. So if you go to your post office and you see in a special cabinet there that there are a 1 ounce special coin with a bunch of colors and a pretty picture, and they want $160 Canadian for it, while spot price is $32 Canadian, that is a poor investment. You're paying a premium over scarcity, kind of like a rare stamp. So the American Silver Eagle for me is a no-no right now. It's got too high a premium. I would find the best deal that you can from a reputable company and get as close to spot as you can if you're interested in investing in 3 and 4/9 pure silver bullion. Next, what we're going to talk about is called constitutional silver. It also has a slang called junk silver. This is older currency back when money was actual real money, and there was actual silver, the metal, in the coinage. So first we're going to talk about the Canadian silver coins. So 1966 and prior, the dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars had 80% silver content in them. In 1967, some of them had 50% or 80%, and in 1968, then you had just an industrial metal. That's when they took money out of the currency. So to give you an example, this is a coin proof set from 1964 of the Canadian currency. So in there is a whole dollar, a half dollar, a quarter, and a dime. The nickel, it was actual nickel at that time, and the penny was actual copper. So this is a proof set of real money. In this proof set is 1.11 ounces of pure silver in here. 80% silver content in the coins. What is very nice about investing in constitutional silver is its divisibility. You take 2.5 dimes and that makes a quarter, same silver content. You take 2 quarters and that makes a half dollar, it's the same silver content. You take 4 quarters, it makes $1, same silver content. You take 2 quarters and it makes a half dollar, 2 half dollars makes, you get the idea. So when transacting with real money in the future, the dime is 80% Canadian dime or a 50% Canadian dime is about the lowest form of silver that you can get. Today, at today's spot price, the value of this is about $1.90 Canadian is the spot price. Junk silver, depending on the quality, like here's an old dime from 1956. So this is 80% silver, and it's worn and it's tarnished and stuff, but you can pick this up for essentially spot price, maybe even better, or actually with the demand right now, you might have to pay a premium over spot price now if you haven't invested yet. So same with this quarter, it is from 1965. That means it has 80% silver content in. That means it has 0.14995 troy ounces of actual silver content in there. At today's spot price, it has a value of $4.75 at spot price. One of my favorite coins in the whole world is the Canadian half dollar. I think they're just beautiful. But a Canadian half dollar, again, make sure they're the years. This is a 1966 in brilliant uncirculated condition, this particular one. And that has a value. I will put a link in the description to the website that I'm using to quickly determine the valuation of constitutional silver, both the content and the current spot price. So a half dollar has 0.3 troy ounces of silver in it. And this is just a beautiful coin. People used to have silver in their pockets prior to 1967. Could you imagine a world with real money? Also, an incredibly beautiful coin are all of the Canadian constitutional dollars. So these dollars are again 80% silver, and each one has 0.6 troy ounces of pure silver. So the valuation at spot price today is $19 Canadian, and typically a dollar will have a premium over spot, so you can expect to pay anywhere from, well, it depends on who you know, your connections, and quantity that you purchase, but anywhere from probably $20 to $25 per dollar. So if we go into hyperinflation, every normie that doesn't know what this is right now is going to have to know what this is, because this is real money. So if you need a carton of eggs or something, you know, here's a 50% Canadian dime valued at, you know, whatever it is in the hyperinflation time. You don't want to just have dollars and that's your only form. You want a bunch of different denominations to use in cash. So if somebody gives you $1, do you have change for $1? Then you give them 10 silver dimes, right? Or whatever, 4 quarters or 2 half dollars. So again, you go back further into history, instead of the coinage having 80% silver content, this old, so worn out, I think it says 1918, a Canadian half dollar is actually sterling silver. So it has a 92.5% silver content in it. And these, because of their rarity, there'd be a slight extra premium. It's kind of like an antique, or you get into coin collecting. So my favorite is just the 1966 and previous 80% junk Canadian silver. So the USA is the same thing, except for their constitutional and junk silver, instead of Canada's 80% silver content, they had 90%. And instead of up till 1966-67, when Canada got rid of real money, the US was 1964 for most things. But just a brief overview of USA constitutional, aka junk silver in the USA. Here's a bag of dimes, mercury dimes. So previous to 1964, I believe. Each one of these dimes is currently worth $1.70 US is the spot price. And again, from dimes to quarters. So here's, it's labeled on the bag, 36 times 90% silver USA quarters. And each one of those is worth $4.25 US. And again, the silver content is like 5 dimes makes a $0.50, 2 $0.50 makes a dollar, right? This is a like barter bag, I'd call it, if you're concerned in the future about bartering. And this I like because you can invest in silver at no premium or a very, very low premium, and you can still get silver in your possession over the 4/9 pure bullion. Both are great to have, but I actually see some use and value in having constitutional silver. So here's a tube of 1964 Kennedy 90% $half. So somebody stored them in a nice little canister there. The person who owns these stores them nice with desiccant packs, so they'll be good forever and ever. These are one of my favorite coins, the Morgan silver dollar. So just like Canada had a silver dollar, but 80%, the Morgan silver dollar and the peace dollar are 90% as well. The problem I have with Morgan silver dollars especially, but also peace dollars, is people like to counterfeit those. So whenever I've made a purchase, I would go to one of the people that I know with one of those Sigma metal verifiers, or one of the dealers that I would purchase from, and I would get them to test every single one because I don't trust anything. But the Morgan silver dollar, like, think of that, people. The year on this guy is 1882. In 1882, somebody carried this silver dollar, and it was worth $1 in their pocket, carrying real money. Could you imagine? A stable currency, no inflation. Wow. After the Morgan silver dollar, the peace dollar. Again, another beautiful coin. I believe there's a lot of fakes for this particular one. So again, make sure you know who you're buying from. Test them if you can. And again, a beautiful coin. This one is from 1922. And again, 90% silver content in there. So those silver dollars would have a little bit higher premium, just like the Canadian silver dollars. Here is a graded, what is this? Here's a graded Morgan silver dollar. So a very good condition. This is a MS64, and then this is a MS63 peace dollar. Now this I don't participate in. This is like investing in Pokemon cards. So these guys will have X amount of intrinsic value, the silver content in it, right? The weight times 90% is the silver content. But these, to get graded in good condition, it would be a super high premium. It might even be, I don't know, 3 or 4 times the spot price of silver. So it's like collecting stamps and fiat cryptocurrencies or something, or pancake coin or a digital NFT. Its only value is what somebody will pay for it, but this has intrinsic metal value. So you could melt these down and make solar panels and electric cars out of them. Just wanted to show you one more non-silver related thing, but to explain inflation to you. So this is a bank box of pre-1996 pennies, and this is a bank box of pre-1990 or 1981 nickels. So they were called the nickel because they were made of pure nickel, the coin. And currently the value of a nickel is, I'm just looking at my app. I'll put a link in the description. But a nickel is worth 13 cents US. So 1 Canadian nickel, which is, you'd figure, 5 cents, right, if we didn't have inflation, but it's worth 13 cents US. One of the copper pennies, pure copper pennies, which is 1996 and previous, is currently worth 2.5 cents US. So 1 Canadian penny, pure copper penny, previous to 1996, is worth 2.5 cents US. What is that, like 3.5 cents Canadian or something? This is the reason why they took the pennies away. I know they had a bunch of things made up, but they took the pennies away. So we no longer have pennies, right? We still have nickels, but they're going to take that away. So not only did they take the nickel out of the nickels and switch to an industrial, cheaper metal that's more readily available, but even the new nickels that aren't even nickel are currently worth 6.25 cents US. So I have in front of me, to the average normie, looks like $2 US. Well, one is actually called a silver certificate, right? This was an IOU for actual silver. Okay, right on it, it says silver certificate at the top, $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. Okay, then they switched that when they took us off real money, and we went to what's called a Federal Reserve note. This just says $1 on it. It's not backed by silver. You can't redeem it for silver. Back in the day, because silver is bulky, right? It's like lugging around silver. Well, this piece of paper fits in a wallet. It's very convenient. So this is an IOU for real money. This isn't real money itself. This is an IOU for real money. Silver has had a huge impact on human history, being as real money, proof of work, divisible, easy to trade with, its rarity, its value in industry, everything. But in many different languages, silver and money are synonymous words. So in languages such as Hebrew, French, languages in the British Isles, Scotch, Doric dialects, Gaelic, Celtic languages, Irish, Scottish, and places in Latin America, Thailand, and even the pound sterling. The word sterling means 92.5% silver. So instead of holding this garbage, this is fiat Canadian currency that is backed by nothing. So is this, right? It's the same piece of paper. This one just has a different printer ink on it. This one says 100 and this one says 20, right? Before this shit turns into 10 trillion Zimbabwe dollars, except 10 trillion Canadian dollars, I suggest getting yourself some real money. This is a novelty thing. This somebody must have bought it at a novelty store, but this is a $1 million American bill. And why isn't this worth $1 million? It says $1 million on it. Now, it's not just about having real money and the ability to store your wealth so governments and central banks can't inflate it away. It's not just about silver. There are other things you can do. If you are of the mindset that things are going to get bad enough, which I kind of am, but I'm also optimistic. Like silver is just real money and undervalued. So even if we just have 20% inflation every year, not hyperinflation yet, silver is your protection against that. But there are other things you can do, like store. I like 22 long rifle ammunition because they're divisible down to one round of ammunition, right? So you can sell this box or trade this box, 333 rounds of a good quality 22 ammunition, or 5 of them, or 5 bullets out of it, or 1 bullet, depending on what you're purchasing. You can barter with that. But the concept, like with our freeze-dried food company, we're the inventors of our freeze-dried smoothies. So these are compact, lightweight, uniform, and they last 25 years. So these is a much better form of currency than this trash, because these are divisible. Our suggested retail price is $8.99 Canadian, unfortunately, because of high production costs now. When I started the company, it was $6.99 was our suggested retail price, and we started the company not too long ago. So that's something else you can do if you think things are going to get to the point where barter is a thing again. Now, for almost all of human history, except for a few timelines where central banks were created and governments were created and they created fake currency, silver and gold the two monetary metals are a hedge against inflation and hold their value. You can hold this, it never goes bad forever and ever, and it's always worth what in relation to what other commodities and items and services and goods are worth. So this is storing real money. But at this particular time where in 2020 the US government printed 40% of all of the dollars ever created in 1 year with the COVID thing and all of the inflation and debt that we're into, this metal, this silver, is the most manipulated metal on planet Earth. It is, in my opinion, severely undervalued. To give you an idea of how undervalued silver, aka money, is, Apple computers, with just the cash that they have on hand, could buy 2 complete years of every silver ounce pulled out of planet Earth. Another example is Starbucks, that coffee company that you've probably heard of, is worth $115 billion. That's nearly 6 times the entire annual supply of silver mined, every single ounce on planet Earth. So not only is this just good for a hedge against inflation over the long term, not only is this good for preserving your wealth, but this also is going to have the potential when the normies are forced to wake up and their fiat dollars become worthless. They're not going to turn to digital NFTs. They're not going to turn to Pancake Coin. They're not going to go to Doggy Coin, digital tokens, right? They're going to go to the two things that for all of human history, or a long time, thousands of years anyways, were money. And that is gold and especially silver. So this has the potential, $31 Canadian an ounce spot price, and it should be worth significantly more. I can't tell you what. I don't know exactly. If one resource you can go to is you can go to usdebtclock.org. I will put a link to that in the description as well. And it gives you the dollars in circulation versus silver. And it's somewhere like $500 an ounce US is what silver should be worth in that respect. The derivatives with silver are so bad that on any given day in the paper silver market, entire annual supplies of planet Earth's production and mining of silver will trade on the paper markets every day. So if you are in the belief system that silver is significantly undervalued, there are other ways other than buying physical precious metals that you can invest in precious metals. So one way would be mining stocks and even ETFs. Now ETFs, I don't trust them, and again, all of these things have counterparty risk. The best thing you can do is to hold something physical in your hand, but if you're to a point where you have some of that and you want to make leverage plays, then I would suggest investing in mining stocks. So I won't really give any, recommendations, but just because I happen to have borrowed these First Majestic coins. First Majestic is a very good silver play. They're a bigger company. They produce a lot of silver, and that's a nice stock to own. I believe that stock is quite undervalued at its current valuation. There are very few pure silver plays that you can even find to invest in. The majority of silver comes as a byproduct of industrial metals like zinc and copper mines. So to find a pure silver play is actually quite hard to do. So not only is silver a teeny weeny little tiny market, it's so funny, real money is such a small market, but to find a pure silver play is even significantly smaller. So a lot of companies will mine gold and get a little bit of silver, or it'll be a gold and silver combination. But to find a resource that is a pure silver play is actually hard to do. I won't give any recommendations, but to be liquid if you're investing, you invest in some big companies like Pan American Silver, First Majestic, Newmont, Barrick Gold. Those are big ones that when big money goes in, and you'll be able to sell out. It's completely liquid. You can go down to smaller companies with a smaller market cap that mine a little bit of silver and maybe some other metals. And if you want the most risky but has the biggest potential upside, you'd look at some discoveries and some explorers. These have such small market caps that it's incredible how little interest there is, and myself as a contrarian, I love it. So contrary to normie belief today, I like to buy low when nobody's interested and sell high. So that's just my thing. Most people don't like doing that. They like buying first things that don't exist in the real world and are highly speculative, and they like paying super high prices for that and hoping that they go higher. This is why most people lose money investing. I'm going to leave you with one more thing about where to purchase and get into physical precious metals. So wherever you are in the world, or Canada or the US, if this is all new to you, I would start asking around, looking around, doing Google searches, and see if you have some local coin shops or maybe a jewelry store that also deals in precious metals. Or even, I've met some of the best precious metal small dealers that I get the best deals on, and I've established a multi-year trust with them. But in Facebook groups about coin collecting and bullion and silver stacking and things, and I've met some awesome guys on there. And we're on a first name basis. We have each other's information, email, everything, and never had a problem. So search in your local, search around. Some of the big companies, they charge a little bit more, like some of the online big dealers. I'm not saying don't go there, but see if you can find deals. Watch out for counterfeits. I talked a little bit about that. It's good to make small purchases and establish a relationship and see if that little guy has a Sigma Metals verifier and can verify what you're purchasing in person for you. That is always the best way to do physical. So I'm not going to give you one recommendation, and for all of this awesome silver that I borrowed for this video, it's in good hands, and I'll get it back to you as soon as this video is over with. And finally, in today's world where everything's online and people pay with their phones and debit cards and have bank accounts, and nobody has physical cash anymore, let alone physical real money, there's been this thing that I've been following a long time, and I am involved with it now. I have an account. I set it up. It's free to set up. But it is utilizing blockchain technology and the internet now to give you a precious metal-backed token. So this thing that I'm talking about is called Kinesis. So if you've ever heard any of my other stuff, I am not an advocate of fiat digital tokens that people call cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Pancake Coin, name your 20,000, tokens that have no intrinsic value. But Kinesis is utilizing the blockchain technology, so having a distributed ledger to keep track of ownership of real money in vaults. So you can sign up with Kinesis completely free. Right now they have a contest. I get nothing out of this, by the way, but a contest, something with Wall Street Silver on Reddit, but you're entered to win draw for $10,000 in physical silver for the Christmas time. With Kinesis, you essentially put fiat dollars in, whether that's Canadian or US or Australian dollars, into Kinesis, and then purchase the Kinesis silver token or gold token. Now, a silver token is exactly 1 ounce of silver, and a gold token, I believe, is, I forget if it's 10 grams or 1 gram of gold. I'm more of a silver guy myself. But Kinesis is coming out with a new debit card, which means, how people, young people like to pay for their McDonald's and their coffee with their phones and their, $10 Starbucks or whatever. You can do that soon with Kinesis. It's going to link with Google and Apple Pays, and it's going to be first a digital debit card, so you can go to McDonald's and buy yourself a coffee with physical silver. Now, the cool thing about Kinesis, I was kind of an advocate of another one called Gold Money, but that was just for storing, and they didn't have really a system where you could do daily purchases with it. Kinesis doesn't have any storage fees. The way that they set it up is it does have a small transaction fee. So for every transaction, there is a minuscule fee, less than Visa and MasterCard charges for like my online business and any merchant anywhere. But with that small fee, over half of it goes back into and is shared amongst referrals and referrers type of thing, and it goes to helping them pay for the cost of running the business, the physical storage, the security, everything they need for that. There's business costs because Bitcoin, you don't have to store anything because it doesn't exist, right? It's just computer power to work the ledger system. But you actually have to store things that exist, right? And I actually have to ship you something that actually exists in the world, whereas Pancake Coin doesn't exist, so you can do it. But Kinesis, utilizing the blockchain technology, is private enterprise creating a gold standard. Now, government isn't going to create a gold standard. They don't want real money. They want to be able to print at their leisure and distribute it and create as much inflation, because going back to a gold and silver standard with the government takes their power away. So when private enterprise is doing something like this, I take notice. And utilizing the internet and blockchain, where you can store, this is cash, this is physical cash that you have in your possession. But Kinesis would be like having a checking account where you can actually make online purchases, go to your coffee shop, make purchases, and a small transaction fee, kind of like having a checking account at your bank, but it's backed by real money. And for what I think real money is going to do in these super high inflationary times that we're living in, is real money is going to go up in relation to the fiat dollars, right? So this will always be the same, right? A token of Kinesis will always be 1 ounce of silver, but it'll be a lot more Canadian or US or Australian or yuan or Russian rubles to buy this. This stayed the same. This got less valuable. What's also cool with this is we have our e-commerce for our smoothies. You can purchase smoothies from us. When they have their payment processor ready, I am going to be one of the first ones on my WordPress website to allow you to pay with Kinesis, be able to collect Kinesis. So if you're a member of Kinesis, if you have a Kinesis account and are using it and are using that, and you go to my website and we accept Kinesis, then you can pay and get actual products from an actual business like myself using precious metals, and we can completely transact using precious metals online. It's hard for you to buy one of these from me with this, because you have to get this to me. But using a little bit of counterparty risk, similar to a bank, like I trust these guys about the same as I trust a bank. You have to have a little bit of trust in the world. I wouldn't put a bunch into these guys or any bank, but I'm here at the ground floor of a blockchain making point of sale using this, and we have a privatized precious metals real money again. So I'm very excited. So to say thank you for watching that video and being interested in this subject, I'd like to do a free giveaway. We're going to give away to one lucky winner a 12-pack of our Copia freeze-dried smoothies. This is our product, as well as a 1 ounce Canadian silver maple leaf. In my opinion, the best 1 ounce coin in the world. 4 nines pure silver. and shipped to you for free anywhere in the world. And I was trying to figure out, how do I, determine who can enter the contest. So this new Kinesis thing that I'm looking into and very interested in, I've decided I want to support them. Now, I get nothing out of this except for the standard referral code that anybody that signs up gets. So it's free to sign up. You have to give a government issue photo ID, fill out a few things, and then they verify your identity, or you have to take a selfie with your government issue photo ID, whatever. It's pretty standardized stuff, but free to sign up. Get yourself signed up so that you can put some fiat dollars in and you then buy some gold or silver tokens, I guess they would be. So completely gold or silver backed tokens. And when they come out with this debit card, I'm excited. This is private enterprise, because governments aren't going to do it. Bringing back a gold and silver standard, right? Like, if this works and lots of people get on it, and, what a beautiful thing, private enterprise. So to enter the contest for a 12-pack of our copious smoothies and a 1-ounce maple leaf, sign up with Kinesis, and then you'll get yourself a little referral code or something. Just comment in this video with your referral code when you get it, and that enters you for our little contest there, and we'll do a draw first week or something in January 2023 after the holidays, and we'll ship that out. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, for nothing. And again, this is counterparty risk, so it doesn't matter who I believe in, whatever. This, I trust myself to hold things, and it has no fees and no counterparty risk. This does have a counterparty risk, but it's the same counterparty risk, or less even, than your traditional bank where you have a checking account. But this is your hedge against inflation, hedged with real money. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.
Wait. Do you know where the term sound money initially came from?